Boxing truth here. Kell Brook, from his latest performance against Gennady Golovkin, has drawn interest from HBO as Peter Nelson approached Eddie Hearn, promoter of Kell Brook, and expressed interest in Kell Brook and would like to match Brook in a big money fight for sometime in mid-2017, perhaps in May. Eddie Hearn's already been on record that Nelson has reached out to Hearn and wants Brook back in a big fight when he's fully recovered, healed, and ready to fight again. This pretty much confirms that Kell Brook is done with the welterweight division. He was, of course, disappointed that he didn't get the victory, but he was absolutely very pleased and ecstatic with all the support he got, the attention from the event, and the reception he received when he walked out to the ring. And he wants to be in those type of fights again. He wants that type of atmosphere. He doesn't want to be in more showcase bouts. He wants to fight the biggest names in the sport. He wants the biggest money fights possible. And Kell Brook could be possibly the next opponent for Canelo Alvarez in mid-2017, as Eddie Hearn is definitely interested in matching Brook with a big name at 154 pounds. And, of course, it means that Kell Brook will not be fighting Errol Spence. He'll vacate the title. That was pretty much expected following this type of fight and getting injured, getting his eye socket broken, and now he has to take some time off. And he'll vacate the title. Errol Spence should be grateful. Well, he should be feeling pretty lucky that he doesn't have to fight Kell Brook, because Kell Brook would have whooped his ass. Had Errol Spence had to take his first major step-up fight against a champion like Kell Brook with the type of skill set that he brings to the table. Spence now doesn't have to fight a very good fighter in Kell Brook, and instead we'll fight a lesser fighter against the highest rated available contender within the IBF. So Spence will likely pick up that strap, considering the names within the IBF at welterweight, and it's a good thing for him. Won't take an ass whooping in his first title shot. That's exactly what went down had Spence had to fight Kell Brook. But Kell Brook was looking for bigger and better things. He's been a champion for quite some time. He's made defenses. He wanted big fights, and now he was in the big fight, and now he's in position to get more big money fights, and that's only expected from a prize fighter. There's definitely good fights to be made at 154 for Kell Brook. There's still a Miguel Cotto fight out there. There's still the Canelo fight. HBO is expressing a lot of interest for that fight to be made. There's also Liam Smith, if he can somehow upset Canelo. There's just more desirable fights at 54 for Kell Brook, and I don't mind the Canelo fight. I think it's a damn good fight. It'll be much more of an even matchup compared to Golovkin. Canelo he's big, but he's nowhere near the type of physical specimen Golovkin is. Doesn't bring in that type of punching power. Canelo can punch, but nowhere near the power of Golovkin. It will be more of an even fight. Brook took some damage in the last fight. His trainer saved him from even worse damage occurring. But coming off a stoppage loss, to go straight into a Canelo fight, Eddie Hearn is willing. They want that fight. Kell Brook wants to fight. But if they could somehow get Miguel Cotto in the ring instead of a Canelo fight, I would want Kell Brook. I mean, if I was handling, if I was controlling his career or just involved a part of his team, I would want him to fight Miguel Cotto instead, because I think that's the much easier fight. He's a much smaller guy, much naturally smaller. He's a little older, not as fresh. It'll be a good comeback fight for Kell Brook to step in there with Miguel Cotto. If he can get past his next opponent in December, whoever it is, whether it's Lamont Peterson. But Cotto has stated that he's looking to fight beyond 2016, and that would be the perfect opponent for Kell Brook for his first fight back following the defeat to Gennady Golovkin. But if he can get Canelo and Miguel Cotto is not available, then he should shoot for that fight, because that's also a good fight for him. It's more of an even fight. Coming off that type of loss, you would expect Canelo to be a slight favorite, but Kell Brook is definitely live in that fight. Be a fun fight to watch. I mean, I don't know who would win. That's too early to tell. Need to know Kell Brook's condition, how he comes back from that, how he responds to the loss. But of course, Canelo might be considered the slight favorite, but it just shows that Canelo is looking to stay at 154 much longer than expected. But a Kell Brook fight would definitely be an interesting fight. And it's good business for Kell Brook to go from fighting nobodies at welterweight, not getting the fights he wants, to now all of a sudden getting interest from HBO. And now he's in position for much bigger money fights, and not having to deal with the bullshit, the politics of boxing that have deprived him of big fights. He's now in a position finally, and he should definitely go get the biggest money fight available out there, as you don't have to worry about mandatories or draining himself to make the welterweight limit for not even a big fight. It would have been a great fight between Brook and Spence, but it's not a big money fight. So you really can't expect Brook to drain himself for a fight that doesn't generate big money. But we'll see what happens with Brook's career. He still has big fights ahead of him. Of course, the Amir Khan fight is still out there. Maybe Eddie Hearn said that if he was to fight at welterweight again, it will probably only be for Amir Khan, that he would put his body through that much torture and trying to make the weight, just so he can get that fight he's always wanted in his career, the Amir Khan fight, and knock his ass out and then rid of him from boxing. But a lot of options for Kell Brook, despite suffering a devastating defeat. He'll be back in mid-2017 and most likely back on HBO for his next fight. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.